seconds away on Studio 5.
We have chosen Jeremy.
You know, I wanted to be the Spanish Justin Bieber, God quickly humbled me.
He wanted to top the pop music charts, but one conversation rerouted his career and his life.
I called my manager that night and I told him, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not chasing mainstream shows. Cancel everything you got.
When you hear this tune, you probably don't think of Erin Rice. He's the man behind some of the most popular songs in Christian music. The songwriter shares his unlikely tale with Studio 5.
Here's my heart, Lord, it's my heart, Lord.
And helping the least of these. See the project that proves music is more powerful than any language barrier.
I am yours.
These are just some of the sights and sounds of the Sonrise Music Festival on the shores of Virginia Beach. The summer concert season is upon us, and it sets the stage for this week's Studio 5, which features American Idol alum Jeremy Rosado. Welcome to the show. In honor of the outdoor summer concert season, I'm wearing my t-shirt from the group Citizen Way. You'll hear from the lead singer a little later in the show. We've got lots to get to today, so let's get started with this week's Top 5 from Studio 5. At number 5, Elijah Wood is getting real about child sex abuse in Hollywood. In a London newspaper, the actor opens up about how widespread the problem is, saying it should be discussed and properly investigated. While he hasn't experienced it firsthand, Wood said he wanted to raise awareness about the problem. On to number 4. Daveed Diggs, the star of Hamilton, went from sleeping on a subway to becoming a Broadway star. Diggs told People magazine, "I kept asking to be in this thing, to be in somebody's thing, and you can't do that. Artists make art, and if nobody is putting you in a thing, you have to make it yourself." On to number 3. A school in Arizona is getting some attention for its take on the hit song and dance, the Nene. It's quite hilarious. The teacher says it is important to touch on a wide variety of genres when teaching music. This video has gotten more than 2 million views. On to number 2. Candace Cameron Bure cannot catch a break. She's now being criticized for her performance of Ice Ice Baby alongside Vanilla Ice on The View.
To the point, no fake it. Cooking MCs like a pound of bacon.
One fan took to social media saying, Candace is supposed to be a Christian. What if she got up there and sung a spiritual song to the crowd? Would she still rock? #disappointed Candace. On to number 1. Blake Shelton goes gospel on national television.
Standing in my Savior's shadow.
The singer and songwriter performed his new song, Save Your Shadow, for NBC's Red Nose Day special. The track comes from his new album, If I'm Honest, that was released earlier this month.
When I'm in my Savior's shadow, where I'm supposed to be.
And those are this week's Top 5 from Studio 5. And speaking of tops, Jeremy Rosado rose above thousands of contestants to land one of the top spots in Season 11 of the hit series American Idol. The young Florida native is rounding out a busy year traveling the country, singing music from his Heartbeat project. We caught up with the music man at the summer concert on the beach for this week's Studio 5 interview. Jeremy Rosado makes a joyful noise on this Virginia Beach stage. It's been quite the journey, from front desk medical clerk to American Idol star and now bona fide recording artist with an album under his belt. So when you told your family that you were going to sing and go on American Idol, and I think you told them that long before you
I was 10.
You were 10.
Old. Yeah.
And when you actually went on, how old were you?
Yeah, I was 10 years old when I saw Kelly Clarkson win American Idol. Never heard of the show before. I was literally flipping through channels. One night, it was probably like 7, 8 o'clock at night, and I heard Ryan Seacrest saying, the winner of American Idol 2002 is, and he said Kelly Clarkson. I saw her win, and I was like, oh my God, like I connected with this like instantly, and I said, I literally ran out of my room, 10 years old, I said, Ma, come here, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be on the show. You see the name on the bottom? You're gonna vote for me like it says that. So I started watching the show with my parents. Like, I mean, we watched it every single time it was on. I auditioned when I turned 16, auditioned when I turned 17 twice, I auditioned when I turned 18, I auditioned when I turned 19. So this was my 5th audition. So I did 5 auditions for Idol. For the first time in the history of my auditioning, they said yes.
Some people are just blessed with a voice from God that when they open their mouth, they affect people. That's you.
What was that?
Crazy.
I don't know.
What was that?
America, meet Jeremy. Jeremy, meet America.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I was so impressed with the tender moments and the big booming vocals. I mean, dude, I love you, man.
After all of this, who is your wild card pick?
I gotta show them everything that I have in this one moment. And I just want everybody at home to be able to feel everything that I sing.
I believe in this kid. I believe in Jeremy. I think he has one of the most beautiful voices I've heard in a long time.
Who is it going to be?
Jeremy Rosado.
I can't even describe to you how ready I am.
What's life been like after American Idol for you? It's been a few years.
It has been, it's been a crazy 3.5, 3 3/4 years. It is, you know, American Idol, it really changed up everything for me, opened up doors that I would have probably never had before. But it wasn't easy getting signed. I mean, I came off one of the biggest TV shows probably in the world, but it was definitely having to work tremendously hard to make it happen.
Your album has been out almost a year.
Yeah, August. Yeah, crazy, right? Man.
How do you feel about it?
I am so blessed with the record. It's called Heartbeat. It was a labor of love. It was, I don't want to say blood, sweat, and tears because there was no blood, thank God. But,
there were sweat and tears.
There was sweat and tears. There was a lot of sweat and tears.
How does your life's reality compare to what you dreamed about, what you were hoping for?
Man, you know, I wanted to be the Spanish Justin Bieber. God quickly humbled me. You know, coming off the show, if I'm honest, I remember doing an event with Pastor Donnie McClurkin in New York City, and I was just, he was interviewing me for something, we were speaking, and I remember my heart was just not, it wasn't this right here. I wanted to chase this mainstream world. This was immediately after Idol. And it was right there. I really believe the Lord gave me a word.
The word to Jeremy came from pastor and fellow recording artist Donnie McClurkin.
Man, this has been such a blessing. I want to thank you, Pastor, for allowing me to be here. I want to thank God for allowing me to be here.
Do you remember what he said?
It was something along the lines of, you know that I've called you from when you were a little boy. Why are you running away from what you know you're called to do? Just right there.
Wow.
I knew that it was the Lord, dude, and speaking. And yeah, from that day on, it changed everything. That was 2.5 years ago now.
The United Methodist Church is celebrating its No Malaria initiative. Jeremy lent his voice to the effort with a new song called Able. It's free music for you, and you can download the single on Amazon. Still to come on this summer music edition of Studio 5, a music road less traveled.
I moved to Nashville to be a basketball coach. It is, everybody moves to Nashville to do the music thing. I actually moved to be a basketball coach.
The unlikely music journey for this award-winning songwriter, whose music is literally waking people up, myself included.
Every single day, we
That is one of the countless hits from the hands and heart of Erin Rice. The award-winning songwriter is usually a behind-the-scenes kind of guy. But we here on Studio 5 convinced the musical genius to take a seat in front of the camera to share some of the stories behind his amazing songs. Erin Rice has part 2 of this week's Studio 5 interview. From this to this.
When I see impossible come true, and when I see a miracle come through,
and this.
You rolled out at the dawning of the day. Heart racing as you made your little getaway. Seems like you've been running all your life, but why, oh why?
Erin Rice is the man behind the hit music. And Studio 5 caught up with the Dove Award-winning and Grammy-nominated songwriter on the keys, playing backup for one of his artists, American Idol alum Jeremy Rosado.
I've kind of lived in the pop side of Christian music.
Now, if we could list some of the people you have written music for, we would have Toby Mac, Mandisa, keep the list going.
Toby Mac, Mandisa, Rachel Lampa, Jackie Velasquez, oh man, Hawk Nelson. Oh, wow. Pillar. I'm all over the place.
Now, I was speaking with Dolly Parton a few weeks ago, and she tells me she's written at least 3,000 songs. How many do you think you've written?
I have no idea. Because the difference between an artist is, you know, they kind of write for themselves, and then sometimes it spills over. I'm writing probably 5 to 8 songs a week. People ask me that all the time. I couldn't even guess. Yeah, it's a lot of songs.
What were you doing before you were able to say, I'm a writer and producer?
I wanted to be a basketball coach.
Really?
In fact, I moved to Nashville to be a basketball coach. It is, everybody moves to Nashville to do the music thing. I actually moved to be a basketball coach.
A college roommate convinced Erin to keep writing music on the side. And his side hustle has been his full-time gig for the last 15 years. One of your collaborations is one of my favorite songs, Good Morning.
Yes.
How did that all happen? I mean, that song, to this day, if I wake up and play that, it just makes my day.
That's a fun song. First of all, Mandisa and Toby. It doesn't get much better than that. Mandisa is very good. She knows exactly what she wants to say. She has a very clear vision. And that morning we walked in, we sat down, it was Mandisa and Toby and myself. And Mandisa said, I'll never forget this, she said, I want a song that makes people want to get up and get on the treadmill. I want people to get up and get their day going. And of course, Toby and myself, we're total music guys. We're like, that doesn't exist.
You want that pizza.
Exactly, right. I think we wrote a bunch of songs that kind of said good morning, but didn't say the phrase good morning. And she was very, no, I want it to say good morning. And when you get in the room with somebody who can sing like that and somebody who can write like Toby, it just starts going.
You are working on a kids project.
Boombox Kids actually just came out May 27th. Boombox Kids is a project where we have taken old Sunday school songs that I kind of grew up with and made them fit in 2015 and 2016 pop music.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, rejoice!
I have a 5-year-old. I know that world. And I know that if I talk to her about deep and wide, she doesn't really know what that means. So I took on the challenge, which was very difficult, of writing verses to these old choruses that explain why God's love is deep, why God's love is wide.
Still to come on Studio 5. Meet the man whose music is also his mission field.
Here's my heart, Lord, my heart, Lord.
And see how Ryan Meadows is reaching orphans in a distant land without even speaking the same language. In this summer concert edition of Studio 5, we've seen singers like Jeremy Rosado and songwriters like Erin Rice using music to make a difference in the lives of people. That sets us up for our next music man, producer Ryan Meadows. He's making music on the mission field and helping organizations like Orphans Promise to change the lives of the least of these, children without parents. This amazing CD is the fruit of months and months of labor. It's called The Hope Project, and it's what's playing in my ear.
Orphans Promise went to Ukraine to unite two worlds to make one sound. We wrote songs that reflect the heart of Orphans Promise and asked the kids that we help daily to come alongside us and create music. We took the vibrant instruments and sounds of Ukraine and fused them with the sound of our worship to make one joyful noise. Together, we found our sound.
Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart, Lord. Here's my heart. Here's my heart. I am yours.
We want to close the divide between those who have much and those who have little, because we are all beneficiaries of the love of God.
The Hope Project, how did it start? Take me back to the very beginning. What happened that made you want to do this?
I've known Terry Mewson for a little while. I saw a donor gift that they gave out and it was a bowl, and I had the idea in my head, like, how much fun would it be to create a really interactive gift for volunteers and donors, something that everybody could physically hear. I went to her and I talked about the idea of creating a CD and the idea of fusion, you know, where we take the sounds of worship here in America and combine it with the instrumentation and the voices of the children over in Ukraine and create a product that I felt like would impact people all over the world. For me, I knew I want to be as prepared as I can be, and so I sat down and just wrote songs that I felt reflected the heart of Orphans Promise, who they are, and brought them over to Ukraine and started working on them with the kids.
So some of them don't even speak the language in terms of being able to sing these songs.
Oh, no, for sure. And so that was kind of the crazy thing, is we sent ahead lyrics for all the kids. And when we got there, all the teachers were stressed out because, like, some of these kids can't even read. We worked with all the kids phonetically. So we would just kind of, like, we're sitting here right now. I would sing a line and they'd sing it back to me. So you could sort of move beyond the words and you could tap more into the feeling and the sound.
Take me there. What were you feeling and seeing in the kids as you're working with them?
Confidence. And so when we first came in, they're extremely shy, nervous, just like most kids would be, but even more so there. The community we worked with was a gypsy community, which is kind of an outcasted community within Ukraine even. The teachers saw that these kids were really, after we left, really enjoying singing and developing that talent. And so they ended up trying to take them to a music school to get further training. And because they were gypsy children, they were rejected. We did an event last Friday where Orphans Promise is helping to say, okay, well, forget that music school. We'll give you training. We'll reach out and take it further.
How long was this process from start to finish in terms of getting the
we started in July of last year, and I think we were done by November. Nice. So it was, yeah, it was relatively quick for how large scale it was, you know, because I mean, we did half the production over in Ukraine, we did half back here in the studio with some drums and electric guitars, and then all the writing was actually relatively quick because we had such an awesome team.
Would you do this again, or will you do this again?
We are doing it again. Yeah, yeah, we are. It's been awesome. So we're going back to Kenya this year, which is really, really exciting for me. It's something I got to have a little bit more hands-on and like kind of interacting with the team already over there, trying to find some kids that we want to work with, and we have a little bit more of a vision of how we want to create this project, and so it's going to be a really, really, really fun project.
Next up on Studio 5, the summer concert continues with music.
When I'm with you, I feel the real me finally breaking through.
And a message from the lead singer of the group, Citizen Way.
When we lost our son last summer, and I never cried so hard in my life. And I remember putting the shovel away after we buried him, and we held him in our hands.
It's been an honor to bring you this summer concert edition of Studio 5, but as this show begins to wrap, we're gearing up to bring you more uplifting entertainment news next week. Here's a preview of what's in the works. You've seen him in Cool Runnings.
Now look in the mirror and tell me what you see.
And you've seen him on the hit show Empire.
You're supposed to pay the man.
Pay him for what? For wasting his life?
But you really need to see Malik Yoba in Studio 5 to hear the untold story of why he was kicked out of the house at just 16.
Caught me doing some things. Nothing illegal.
And that is just one story from our exciting rundown for next week. For now, I'm a fan of Citizen Way, and I'm wearing one of their t-shirts for this summer concert show. So I'd like to give the final word to the group's leader, Ben Calhoun. He encourages people to do in life what he does in music. Speak from the heart.
Just write what you know. And if we are honest, then the range of emotions are and should be in our songs.
When I'm with you, I feel the real me finally breaking through. It's all because of you, Jesus. Anytime, anywhere, any heartache.
When I'm With You is our latest song on the radio. It's a story about when we lost our son last summer. And I never cried so hard in my life. And I remember putting the shovel away after we buried him, and we held him in our hands, you know, and the Holy Spirit just said quietly, you know, it's okay, you can move on, I got him.
No need for walls, you see right through every hurt, every scar, every secret, you just love me.
And that's just how I felt, and so I wrote a song about it. You know, everything's not fine, the chorus says, and I'm not okay, but it's nice to know I can come this way. And the Bible says that we can approach the throne of grace with confidence, and so that's what I did. And he met me there.
God is indeed always waiting to meet us at his throne of grace. That is the final word for this edition of Studio 5. Until next time, reach out and touch me at Ephraim Graham on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And then come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week.